Ulterion had upset some giants wandering through the continent of Bamboa. He managed to convince Sawa to rebuild his flybox and a friendly Cyclops to throw it, but that's a story for another day. Ulterion found himself walking away from a flybox crash again, walking through a fierce icy tundra again, and he trudged on through icy winds.
I'll never complain about heat again.
Ulterion continued to trudge through the snow, trying not to think about the cold. It wasn't working. Ulterion managed to find a cave. He was still cold. But it was no longer snowing on his head. At least half a problem was solved. Night came over the icy tundra, and Ulterion managed to get some sleep, still shivering.
Wake up, boy.
Ulterion jumped up into consciousness. Ulterion looked down at his bracelet. The thing that he used to talk to Bonefoot, the wizard he slighted, now worked for due to a curse.
What is it?
The bracelet's ruby glowed as Bonefoot spoke.
Your time is up, boy.
Ulterion shook his head furiously in disbelief.
That can't be. I know I had 3 months left.
Yeah, but I'm bored watching you caress your damn wet soul.
A snap could be heard on the other side of the ruby.
Goodbye, dead end what?
A fiery portal opened up in the middle of the air, and Ulterion watched in horror
No.
as demons crawled through the portal with rage and hunger in their eyes. Ulterion backed against a wall of the cave and watched in horror as the demons came towards him.
No! No!
Ulterion woke up screaming.
No! No! Ah!
And found several penguin people with spears pointed at him. The leader, at least the penguin person Ulterion assumed was the leader, opened their mouth.
What?
Ulterion held up his hands in the universal gesture of, I'm harmless, please don't hurt me.
Hello?
The penguin people led Ulterion at spear point across the tundra.
I hope my prison is warm at least.
The lead penguin person prodded on Ulterion with their spear.
What?
All right. I'm going.
Ulterion was led to a village. And thrown into a tent. The lead penguin person glared down at Ulterion and said,
What?
and then left the tent. Ulterion shouted after his captor.
I don't know what you're saying.
Ulterion looked at his new accommodation.
Guess it's better than an ice cave.
Ulterion looked at the opening of his tent.
Let me see something.
Ulterion peeked his head out through the tent opening. Standing outside were 2 penguin people guards with spears already trained on him. He nodded.
That's about what I thought.
He nodded to both guards.
Carry on.
Ulterion paced his prison.
How do I escape?
Ulterion stopped his pacing as he heard something that chilled him to the bone more than the snows outside. In fact, it was worse than something. It was...
Nothing?
Ulterion peeked his head out and saw nothing. No village, no penguin people, nothing. Ulterion shook his head in disbelief.
What's going on?
Ulterion turned around to find his tent was gone.
Huh?
Ulterion found himself alone in the tundra with nothing in all directions except snow.
Hello? Anyone there? Hello?
Something heard Ulterion because the ground started to shake, and Ulterion lost his balance and fell into the snow. Ulterion looked up in horror as the snow formed into a giant sea lion creature. It roared at Ulterion as it brought its massive face towards him. The snow sea lion monster lunged for Ulterion, who thought he was done for when the creature opened its enormous mouth. But instead of biting down, instead of another roar, the monster said,
Hungry?
Ulterion looked up in confusion.
What?
Ulterion woke up screaming.
Ah!
Hungry?
Ulterion found himself face to face with a fish head.
Ah!
Ulterion backed up screaming.
Ah!
He found himself staring at a small penguin child.
Hungry?
Ulterion stared at the penguin child in shock as he tried to calm himself down. He merely shook his head.
No. No, thank you.
Realization came to Ulterion.
Wait. Did you speak common?
The penguin child was taken aback by the question. Then they realized that they understood the strange non-penguin creature, and she had spoken a language she had never heard before.
I think I do. Is that what common is?
Yes.
Ulterion nodded with a smile on his face.
This is great. You can tell your people to let me go.
The penguin child shrugged.
Guess I could.
Ulterion jumped up and shooed the penguin child away.
Just go tell them that I'm a nice person and I mean no harm to anyone.
Don't you want your fish head?
Ulterion looked towards the fish head that was now on the ground. He winced.
No, that's okay. I'm not hungry.
Ulterion gently shoved the penguin child out of the tent.
Now go. Go, 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 go.
Ulterion placed his tent in anticipation.
Come on. Come on.
The penguin child returned.
I am back.
A large smile crossed Ulterion's face as his excitement grew.
Did you talk to your people?
The penguin child nodded.
I did.
Great. Did you tell them what I said?
The penguin child nodded again.
I did.
Well,
Well, what?
are they letting me go?
Oh, no.
Ulterion's smile disappeared immediately.
What?
They said no.
Ulterion snarled at the penguin child.
I know they said...
Ulterion saw that he was scaring the penguin child, so he calmed himself down.
Why did they say no? Didn't you tell them I'm harmless?
The penguin child nods.
I told them, and they agreed. You are harmless.
Ulterion sneered.
I'm glad they agree.
Ulterion shook his head. He had to concentrate.
Wait, why are they keeping me?
For sacrifice.
Ulterion's jaw dropped.
Sacrifice?
The penguin child nodded.
Yep. To the water demon.
Water demon?
Yep. Yes. You see? We were hunting peacefully. When we came to the water to do some spearfishing, we caught many fish. Until sea demon jumped forth from the water and ate one of our warriors. The warriors of our water tribe tried to fight the water demon. And many of them were killed. So my people got together and talked about what we would do, and we came to the unfortunate conclusion that we would provide the sea demon a sacrifice. So every few days we would get together and vote on who would be sacrificed to the water demon. We would send the sacrifice by themselves, and the sea demon would satiate itself.
Penguin child looked at Ulterion with a bit of a smile on their face.
But with you here, we don't have to sacrifice one of our own.
Ulterion sneered.
Glad I could help.
The penguin child continued to smile up at Ulterion, oblivious to the sarcasm. The days went by, and Ulterion and the penguin child, who he named Chatter, he told them of his adventures.
And I found out that the sandworm that ate me was a big metal creation.
And Chatter listened intently
This crabman tried to kill me, but I was too fast.
and in awe.
Wow!
One day, Chatter waddled into Ulterion's tent. He smiled at his little friend.
Hello, Chatter. Here for another tale? How about the time I fought the Hellbeaver? Or the time I won a duel with the Conqueror?
Ulterion quieted himself as he saw the forlorn look on Chatter's face.
It's time.
Ulterion's smile quickly drained away.
Oh.
There were tears in Chatter's eyes.
I'm so sorry.
Chatter ran up to Ulterion and hugged him, much to his surprise. Chatter buried his head in Ulterion's stomach.
I'm sorry.
Ulterion looked down at the crying penguin child. He knelt down and gave the little penguin a big hug.
It's all right, little guy.
I'm a girl.
Ulterion started crying too.
Whatever.
Ulterion made his way across the icy tundra. Chatter had sneaked a knife into Ulterion's hand. Ulterion was thankful, but doubted how much it would help. Ulterion tried to resolve the situation to himself. If the sea demon ate him, he wouldn't be dragged to hell by actual demons. It was a cold comfort, just like the wind. Ulterion continued his trek across the snow. Ulterion was starting to think that he wouldn't find the sea demon, which was a relief, until he realized that he was in the icy tundra by himself.
I kinda hope I find the sea demon.
As luck or luck would have it, the sea demon burst from the ice, startling Ulterion, and causing him to stumble back and fall into the snow. Ulterion looked up in horror at the giant sea demon and realized it was a sea lion.
Are you the sea demon? You're just a sea lion.
The sea demon, well, the sea lion, roared at Ulterion, which turned Ulterion's mirth back to terror.
Oh, right. You're still a giant beast.
The sea lion charged towards Ulterion. Ulterion looked at his knife
I believe in you, Chatter.
before hurling it towards the sea lion, who opened his mouth to devour him. The knife sailed through the air and struck true, entering through the roof of its mouth and into its brain. With a final roar, the beast fell over, dead. Ulterion stared at the sea lion's body in shock.
There is no reason that should.
Ulterion celebrated his kill with his new penguin people brothers. Ulterion was brought plate after plate of delicious steak. Ulterion smiled to Chatter. This steak is delicious. Where did you get it? Chatter smiled.
You brought it.
Ulterion gave Chatter a confused look.
What?
Chatter pointed towards the sea lion carcass cooking over the fire. Ulterion's jaw dropped. The bite he just took fell out of his mouth.
I can't believe I didn't notice that.
Ulterion slept in his guest tent, which was his prison tent, feeling satisfied until he heard a particular voice.
Sounds like you're popular, boy.
Ulterion was startled, but not that badly. He'd grown accustomed to the wizard's interruptions.
I guess so.
You know you only got a week left, dead end what?
What?
Yeah. Weren't you keeping track, dead end what?
I couldn't tell. The nights are really long here.
Ulterion fumbled to bring out the list.
I really only have one thing left?
Ulterion scanned his eyes across the list. Everything had been crossed out, except for one item at the very bottom.
Let's see. The last thing I need is Pangosian meat.
Ulterion was curious.
Pangosian meat? What's Pangosian meat?
ghosts are made of it, dead and what?
Ulterion stared at his bracelets in shock.
That can't be.
They were willing to sacrifice you, dead and what? They could offer up something to you.
Ulterion thought long and hard about what he would do as he listened to the wizard laugh at him. Ulterion went on a walk with Chatter. Ulterion looked around at the rest of the village. No one else was out and about.
What did you need, Ulterion?
Let's walk a little before I tell you.
Chatter stared up at Ulterion curiously. He gave her his best fake smile. She shrugged.
All right.
Chatter wandered ahead as Ulterion followed with a knife behind his back. The knife Chatter had given him. His heart and head were at war, thinking what he would do. Bonefoot stood at his crystal ball, watching Ulterion, the man he sent to get his components, walk with his little Pangosian friend. Pangosian meat was the last component he needed for his great project.
That's it, boy. Take care of it, dead and what?
Bonefoot was a powerful wizard who used his powers to sow chaos. He'd loved doing so as far back as he could remember, which wasn't long, but we'll discuss that later. His current project would cause trouble on a global scale. It had before.
You're so close.
Bonefoot watched his collector isolate the Pangosian child.
I'm sorry, little one.
Bonefoot smiled as the Pangosian child stared up at Ulterion curiously.
Sorry for what?
Bonefoot smiled with a malicious delight as Ulterion produced a crude knife from behind his back.
Yes.
Suddenly,
Oh!
Ulterion lost his balance and fell into the snow. And as he fell, his bracelet was buried, blocking Bonefoot's sight.
What the?
Are you all right?
Yes. But you won't be.
What?
Bonefoot heard the slice of flesh, and the Pangosian child screamed. A big smile crossed Bonefoot's lips.
Yes, dead and what?
Bonefoot exploded into laughter.
Yes.
The orb became clear with Ulterion's somber face on it.
It's done.
Good, my boy. Good. Now put it in the bracelet, dead and what?
Ulterion shook his head.
No.
Bonefoot was taken aback.
What's that, boy?
I said no.
Bonefoot sneered.
I don't think you want to do that, dead and what?
I can't trust that you'll lift the curse if I give this to you.
Bonefoot smirked.
Well played, boy. Well played.
I want to travel to where you are, and I will give it to you in person.
Bonefoot shrugged.
All right, boy. All right.
Ulterion sneered.
When can I expect transport?
Bonefoot scratched his chin as he thought.
Give me a few days to think about it, dead and what?
Ulterion looked shocked.
Wait, what?
Bonefoot wandered into the library of his castle. He needed to learn more about his past, specifically his past. Though he was technically human, he had been alive for centuries, but he couldn't remember a few of those centuries.
Now where's my next journal, dead and what?
He didn't even always have his accent. Bonefoot went to a shelf marked journals. He ran his fingers along the spines.
Let's see, dead and what?
His fingers stopped on a book with the title The Flapjack War. Bonefoot opened the book and started reading. It was 1,000 years ago. A baby was born by the name of... Bonefoot thought for a moment.
What the hell was my name, dead and what?
Bonefoot shrugged and went back to reading. Anyway, baby Bonefoot was brought into the world. As Bonefoot grew, so did his penchant for mischief. When Bonefoot was 8 years of age, he let out the local oxen in his farming village. When Bonefoot was 10 years of age, he let some dogs into a hen house. When Bonefoot was 12 years of age, he caused 3 tavern brawls in a day. As Bonefoot grew into adulthood, he began to dabble in the dark arts. He wandered the land, making mischief in his wake. Using his dark powers, he created a castle in a hidden swamp, Scroonscrag. He raised an army of the dead, and he continued mischief throughout the world. Then came the day he got his namesake. Bonefoot thought it would be fun to summer. Bonefoot wouldn't let the loss of a leg slow him down. He merely animated a skeleton leg and continued to run amok, limp amok. Bonefoot's greatest prank, which would send the world of parody into turmoil, he would learn the recipe for the flapjacks of immortality. Bonefoot had found the recipe for the flapjacks of immortality. This dish was the start of the last 2 flapjack wars that sent the world into chaos. The flapjacks did exactly what their name implied. Those that consumed this treat would be granted the gift of immortality. As soon as Bonefoot learned how to make them, he was the first to sample it. When many of the lucky few got to eat the flapjacks, but most didn't expect how big the flapjacks were. There were 3 times the size of a regular flapjack. And they were the worst things that anyone had ever tasted. Luckily for Bonefoot, he was born without a sense of taste. And he liked eating just for the sensation. So it wasn't much of a challenge for him. All the nations of the world wanted the flapjacks, so war broke out. Bonefoot's involvement was discovered, and so a wizard by the name of Palador gathered several warriors and set out to fight Bonefoot. The warriors fought Bonefoot's undead and hired forces, while Palador battled Bonefoot. Palador was not doing well in the battle due to Bonefoot's immortal nature. Palador fired a lightning bolt at his opponent. The bolt blew a hole in Bonefoot's chest. Palador stood in a defensive position, out of breath.
Had enough.
Palador's heart sank as Bonefoot started laughing. And the hole in Bonefoot's chest started stitching itself closed.
I haven't even broken a sweat here, damn what.
Bonefoot waved his hands, blasting Palador with an invisible wave, knocking the good wizard to the floor. Palador tried to pick himself up off the floor. Palador looked up to find Bonefoot standing over him.
And the last words, dear damn what?
Palador scrambled to think of what to do. Then he thought of his most vicious spell.
Just one.
Palador pointed a hand at Bonefoot.
Imbecilia!
Bonefoot gave Palador a confused look.
Huh?
A wave of blue energy shot from Palador's hand and struck Bonefoot in the head.
Oof!
Bonefoot felt the energy wipe his mind until He was reduced to a mindless sack of skin and bones. The warriors outside continued to fight and eventually won the day.
We've won!
Normally, those struck with the imbecilious spell would be mindless beings for the rest of their days, but Bonefoot was immortal. He had time. The centuries passed, and Bonefoot wandered through his castle, eventually relearning how to be a powerful wizard again, although he adopted his weird accent from nowhere. Bonefoot spent another century or two to find all the ingredients, until he ran into the Fool. The con man had stolen and sold all Bonefoot's components. Bonefoot had found the thief in his tent on the outskirts of town and was going to dispatch the rogue by crushing him with a gravity spell, and was fine with dragging out the fool's death, until the thief shouted.
I'll replace everything!
Bonefoot thought about ignoring the thief's pleas, but thought about how much fun he could have. Bonefoot smiled. So Bonefoot watched Ulterion's journey.
That's poison ivy did him what?
No!
And was entertained by watching the fool struggle. And on occasion, Bonefoot would make it interesting.
I'll think about not animating the weapons did him what?
What?
But it was soon coming to an end.
Oh well.
Once Bonefoot got the rest of his ingredients, there would be untold fun for the future. Ulterion walked with his small Pangosian friend Chatter through the snow. Chatter looked up and smiled at Ulterion.
I love walking with you.
Ulterion gave his friend a weak smile.
I love walking with you, too.
Chatter gave Ulterion a curious look.
Is something wrong?
Ulterion shook his head, trying to maintain his composure.
Nope, everything is fine.
Chatter noticed that one of Ulterion's arms was behind his back.
What do you have behind your back?
Ulterion began to panic.
What? What's behind my back?
Ulterion's mind scrambled to think of something. He gave Chatter a big, fake smile.
It's a surprise. Yes, a surprise.
Chatter stared at Ulterion. Lucky for Ulterion, the cold air made sweating nearly impossible. After a long, uncomfortable stare, Chatter shrugged.
Sounds great.
Chatter started to waddle off, with a big smile on her face.
I can't wait to see what it is.
I don't think you will.
Ulterion did have a surprise for the Pangosian, but it was not something that she or he would like. He had a knife behind his back to obtain the Pangosian meat, the last ingredient he needed for the evil wizard Bonefoot. Ulterion's eyes began to well up with tears.
Let's get this over with.
Ulterion continued to walk with Chatter, his mind racing with ways to get out of his current predicament. He knew the wizard could see anything he does through the bracelet. Then an idea came to him. He hoped it would work. Ulterion brought Chatter to the demons, which was actually a dire sea lion that had given the Pangosian tribe some trouble before Ulterion managed to kill it. Corpse. That was now a meal for the tribe. Chatter looked up curiously at Ulterion with a smile.
What's my surprise?
It was now or never.
I'm sorry, little one.
Chatter stared up at Ulterion with concern and confusion.
Sorry for what?
Ulterion pulled out the knife and suddenly started to fall.
Whoa!
As Ulterion hit the snow, he shoved his hand with Bonefoot's bracelet on it into the snow. Ulterion winced as the cold went to his arm. He hoped the pain was worth it to block Bonefoot's sight. Chatter looked down in concern.
Are you alright?
Chatter wandered over and attempted to help Ulterion to his feet. Ulterion grimaced at Chatter.
Yes, but you won't be.
Chatter was very confused. Ulterion grabbed Chatter's slipper and pinched really hard. Ulterion grabbed Chatter's bill to close it. Ulterion gave Chatter a shake of his head. Chatter was confused but understood that he should be quiet. Ulterion quickly let go of Chatter's beak, grabbed his knife, and sliced off a piece of the sea lion. Chatter watched all of Ulterion's actions, very confused. He was about to say something, but Ulterion put the knife to his lips, since his fingers were busy holding it, and said, "Shh." Ulterion waved Chatter off. She waddled away, still confused. Ulterion quickly composed himself before taking his arm out of the snow. He gave his bracelet a somber look.
It's done.
Good, my boy. Good. Now put it in the bracelet, Daddy.
Ulterion shook his head.
No.
What's that, boy?
I said no.
I don't think you want to do that, kid. What?
I can't trust that you'll lift the curse if I give this to you.
Well played, boy. Well played.
I want to travel to where you are, and I will give it to you in person.
All right, boy. All right.
Ulterion sneered.
When can I expect transport?
There was a long silence until Bomford said,
Give me a few days to think about it, what?
Ulterion glared at the bracelet.
Wait, what?
Ulterion got the feeling that Bomford was no longer listening. Ulterion looked towards Chatter.
Sorry about all that.
Chatter just stared at Ulterion.
What the hell is all that?
Ulterion was laying in his tent. Until his bracelet's ruby glowed as Bomford's voice came through.
Oh, boy.
Ulterion sat up with a start.
Huh? What? Huh?
You read it, Daddy, what?
No, but I'm sure you don't care about that.
You know me too well, Daddy, what? Now, keep going.
Ulterion packed his things. He went quickly since he mostly lost things on his journey. Ulterion was trudging his way to his travel point, whatever that meant, when he was stopped in his tracks by a voice.
Ulterion, wait!
Ulterion turned to face his little Pangosian friend.
Go home, Chatter.
Chatter wandered towards Ulterion, ignoring him. There were tears in her eyes.
Please don't go.
Chatter waddled up and hugged Ulterion tight.
I don't want you to go.
Ulterion looked down and smiled weakly. Ulterion knelt down and hugged Chatter back.
I love you too, little one.
Ulterion wiped away Chatter's tears.
But my quest is over. I have to go.
Chatter stared at Ulterion pleadingly.
Let me come with you.
I would love for you to come with me.
Chatter's face lit up with excitement.
Oh, good. I'll go pack and we can go.
Chatter went to waddle away, but Ulterion stopped him.
Wait!
Chatter looked back with hopeful eyes and a smile.
Yes?
Ulterion's heart broke from that hopeful look. He painted on his best fake smile.
Make sure you pack what's important.
Chatter nodded furiously, with a big smile on her face.
Will do.
Chatter quickly waddled away. Ulterion's smile fades away.
Sorry, little one.
Chatter was in her tent packing furs and tools, toys she had made for herself out of some wood she found.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Chatter waddled back to where she left Ulterion,
Ulterion?
only to not find him. Ulterion made his way to the transport spot.
I hope she finds it.
Chatter sat and cried. He tried looking around again to see if Ulterion would return. In vain.
Ulterion?
But there was no Ulterion.
Huh?
She revealed the knife she had made for Ulterion in a long tube of paper. Ulterion continued the long trek through the snow, hoping Chatter would find his gift. Chatter unrolled the tube of paper. Ulterion struggled against the icy winds. He knew that Chatter would hate him. That was fine, as long as she was safe. He hoped his gift would provide her the life of her dreams when she came of age, of course. Ulterion smiled at the thought. He used it to ignore the pain of tears freezing to his face. Chatter had the ability to understand whatever speech she heard, but she couldn't read it in other languages. She couldn't read to begin with, since her people had more oral tradition rather than writing things down. However, Chatter was clever. She could discern that the shapes on the paper were land masses. She was reading, looking at, a map. Ulterion had left this to her. She knew that she would figure it out, and one day she would see the world on this map. She gave the map a hug.
I love you, Ulterion!
Ulterion didn't know how long he'd been walking. He just knew it was too damn long. But he eventually found the transport spot.
Finally.
Ulterion waited at the transport spot.
Don't do that.
And waited. And waited.
Are you humans? Gnomes!
And waited.
From Boom
Ugh!
And waited. Until he couldn't anymore, he tapped the bracelet.
Hey! When am I being transported?
The ruby on the bracelet glowed.
Oops, I forgot that in what.
You can read
Ulterion rolled his eyes.
Ugh.
You can call me
Anyway,
Chatter.
I'm ready for transport.
Do you have the Pangosian meat that in what?
Ulterion's eyes darted around nervously.
Yes.
Let me see it that in what.
Fine.
Ulterion searched through his many purses and bags until he found
I thought you guys were
Pangosian
going
meat
without me.
and showed it to the bracelet.
Here.
Can you hold it closer to the bracelet
It's
that in what?
happened
Ulterion
before.
started to move the meat towards the bracelet. Then he realized what
No.
Bonefoot was trying to get him to do.
Let's go.
He pulled the meat back.
I'll show you in person.
Fine. Tell yourself that in what.
Ulterion looked around.
When are you...
A bright blue light surrounded Ulterion. And he was gone. Ulterion appeared in the middle of a castle.
going to transport...
Ulterion looked around curiously.
Huh?
Ulterion walked down a long corridor looking around.
Hello?
Ulterion thought that the wizard was playing some new cruel trick on him when
Over here down what?
Ulterion entered a room where Bonefoot was mixing green boiling liquid in a coal run. Bonefoot looked back at Ulterion.
Welcome to my home, boy.
Bonefoot held out his hand.
Almost done here then what? I just need the Pangosian meat that in what.
Ulterion nodded as he reached into one of his bags.
Of course.
Ulterion pulled out the Pangosian meat.
Here you go.
Bonefoot reached for the meat only for Ulterion to pull it away.
As soon as you remove my curse.
Bonefoot sneered.
All right, that him what?
Bonefoot waved his hand. And Ulterion felt an energy leave his body.
Was that it?
Bonefoot shrugged.
Pretty much did him what?
Ulterion felt himself. He didn't feel much different, maybe a little lighter. Ulterion shrugged.
Seems legit.
Ulterion threw the meat to Bonefoot, caught it with surprising agility. The wizard gave Ulterion a sardonic laugh.
Say, you seem to get over killing your friend rather quickly, did him what?
Ulterion kept his composure, keeping his grimace on the inside of his body somehow.
I was saddened by my little bird friend's death,
Ulterion forced a smile.
but my hunger helped me get over it.
Bonefoot raised his eyebrow.
Is that right, did him what? What did it taste like, did him what?
Ulterion shrugged.
What else? Chicken.
Bonefoot sneered.
Should have known, dead ends what.
Bonefoot shrugged.
Oh well, dead end what. Job's done.
Bonefoot waved Ulterion off.
Off with you, dead end what.
Ulterion was surprised. Bonefoot turned his back on Ulterion and focused on his mixing in his cauldron.
Job's done there, boy. Services ain't no longer needed here, then what?
Ulterion, very confused, pointed a thumb over his shoulder.
I can just go.
Bonefoot didn't bother to turn and face Ulterion. He just continued his work.
Bye there.
Ulterion shrugged
All right. Goodbye, then.
and left the room. Ulterion walked down the corridor whistling a happy tune. Bonefoot continued to mix his concoction. He considered all the things he would do once his flapjacks of immortality were done. He didn't mind letting the full Ulterion go. He had fun torturing him and people like him with new immortal minions. He even thought of forcing Ulterion to eat a flapjack so he would have the joy of torturing him for all eternity. The thought brought him so much joy. Then the liquid started to bubble over.
Huh?
The cauldron started to shake violently.
What the?
Ulterion continued his stroll down the hallway until he heard and felt an explosion. Ulterion started walking and whistling faster. Bonefoot lay burnt and bloody on the ground as his castle shook, its integrity compromised by the explosion. Bonefoot shook his head in disbelief.
What happened there, then what? I had all the ingredients in.
Realization came to Bonefoot, followed by rage.
Ulterion?
Ulterion ran towards a door that he hoped led outside. Ulterion was a mere few inches from the door when an invisible force stopped him in his tracks.
Damn!
Ulterion felt himself being lifted off the floor and spun around to face a battered and bloodied Bonefoot staring at him with rage.
You made a grave error here, then what?
Ulterion tried to struggle, vain against the force holding him.
Which one are you talking about? I've made many.
Bonefoot pushed his palm forward, causing Ulterion to fly back,
Oh!
slamming him into a wall. Bonefoot limped forward with madness and rage in his eyes.
I should have killed you a year ago here, then what?
As Bonefoot moved towards his quarry, he slowly closed his hand. And as the hand closed, Ulterion felt the invisible force crushing him.
No matter here, then what? I'm correcting it now.
Huh. You fool. This place is about to drop on us.
I'll just be fine here, then.
Ulterion watched in horror as the wizard's wounds started knitting themselves. Confirming the wizard's words, Ulterion shook his head while trying to in disbelief.
How?
Bonefoot's lips stretched into a vicious smile.
I had myself a good breakfast a few centuries ago, dead end what?
Ulterion stared at the wizard in horror.
You had the flapjacks.
That I did here, then what?
A dark realization came to Ulterion.
You were making flapjacks of immortality.
Bonefoot sneered.
I was saying clever. Your current situation says different here, then what?
Huh. I can't argue with that.
Ulterion's mind raced as he tried to think of an escape plan. His eyes darted around frantically to find an exit. He landed on a window behind Bonefoot. A plan began to form. Ulterion gave Bonefoot a defiant smile.
At least I've ruined your plans to bring back those horrible flapjacks. I can die with peace as this castle falls on us. It'll be quick for me.
Bonefoot gritted his teeth.
Oh no, you ain't getting off that easy, you damn boy.
Bonefoot waved his hand,
Whoa!
and Ulterion slammed into another wall.
I'm gonna throw you around like a rag doll.
Bonefoot waved his hand again,
Ah!
sending Ulterion flying, slamming him into another wall.
Till you beg me for death, you damn boy.
Bonefoot waved his hand again,
Whoa!
slamming Ulterion into another wall.
Had enough, you damn boy.
Bonefoot was looking crazed. Ulterion felt his plan was working, as well as his body being racked with pain. He just needed to be moved in the right direction. He just hoped he would survive the push.
I can't say. Maybe one more time.
All right, I'll oblige you, you damn boy.
Bonefoot waved his hand again,
Ah!
sending Ulterion towards the window. And through it. Bonefoot started laughing until he realized what he just did.
Damn it.
Once Ulterion went through the window, he went sailing towards the swamp. Bonefoot thought he should say something poignant at this moment, but all that came out of his mouth was a heavy sigh. As his home collapsed on top of him. Ulterion landed in some mud. At least he hoped it was mud. He picked himself up and looked around to see the castle collapse. Into a pile of rubble.
I guess I'm paid in full.
Pain shot up Ulterion's side, turning his laughter to a groan of pain.
Oh, I'm sure a few of you are broken.
Ulterion looked around.
All right. Now where the hell am I going?
Ulterion closed his eyes, pointed and spun around a few times. Stopped, and opened his eyes, pointing at a path. He shrugged.
It's as good a direction as any.
Ulterion limped in the direction he pointed. Where he ended up, well, that's a story for another day. 10 years later. Two gnome explorers trudged through an icy tundra. The couple were a man and a woman. The gnome woman, Tannin Whistle, turned to yell at her husband.
Come on, Slowpoke.
Frederick, Towin's husband, was not as excited about the expedition.
Couldn't you have asked for a warmer assignment?
Ha! All the warm places have been discovered.
Don't know that.
Stop whining.
Towin heard growling. Towin looked back at her husband.
Are you hungry?
Frederick gave his wife a confused look.
What?
Your stomach was growling.
Frederick shook his head. He was about to answer, but the growl was heard again. Frederick had a look of horror on his face.
That's not me.
Although she was usually far more brave than her husband, she returned the look of horror.
What was that?
Owen and Frederick ran for their lives as a polar bear chased after them. The gnome couple found an ice cave and ran straight into it. The gnome couple ran to the back of the cave, which fortunately wasn't far. The gnome couple held each other as he found an ice wall keeping them from going further.
Perhaps we lost it.
Towin looked over Frederick's shoulder in horror. Frederick looked at his wife curiously.
What is it, my love?
Towin pointed a shaking finger towards something behind Frederick.
I think this is. It's home.
What do you...
Frederick saw what Towin was looking at, and his heart sank out of horror. He was looking at the same pile of chewed up bones as Towin,
Oh dear.
as if to confirm who lived there. The bear entered the cave. The gnome couple held each other tight as the bear drew closer to them.
I love you, Towin.
I love you, Frederick.
The two gnomes closed their eyes and awaited the inevitable. Until something stabbed the bear in the back. The couple opened their eyes.
Huh?
The bear teetered for a moment before falling to the frozen ground, dead. Owen and Frederick stared in awe at the spear in the bear's back and passed it at the large penguin person standing in the cave. Frederick looked to his wife.
Did you know about penguin people?
Towin shrugged and shook her head. Frederick stepped forward and addressed their saviour, making broad gestures as he talked.
Thank you. We grateful.
The penguin person shook her head.
Don't do that.
Frederick was taken aback.
Oh, sorry.
The penguin person stared at the gnome couple curiously as they pulled their spear out of the bear.
Are you humans?
The two gnomes laughed.
Heavens, no.
We're gnomes.
The penguin person looked intrigued.
Gnomes.
The couple nodded.
Yep.
Gnomes, be we.
The penguin person continued to stare at the couple curiously.
From Boom Vroomberg?
Now the couple were curious.
Why? Yes.
You know of Vroomberg?
The penguin person dropped their pack on the ground and rifled through it.
Do you need help, sir?
No. Also, I'm a woman.
Oh,
Towin gave her husband an angry look.
you didn't know either.
The penguin person pulled out a rolled up piece of paper and unfurled it before the gnome couple, revealing that it was a map. Both gnomes looked at the map in awe.
Where did you get this?
The penguin person looked at Towin with an excited smile.
You can read this?
Towin nodded.
Yes, sir. Madam, I can explain it to you, miss.
Towin thought for a moment.
Oh dear. We never got your name.
Penguin person smiled.
You can call me Chatter.
Meanwhile, in the middle of a swamp, a pile of rubble that used to be a castle sat in a large clearing. It was the home of a powerful wizard who was buried when said castle collapsed. 10 years thought that he would never return. But if the little leg kicked some rocks away, it seemed Bonefoot would escape and search for his revenge. Chatter runs across the icy tundra with her bags packed. Owen and Frederick saw the penguin woman running towards them. The gnome couple waved to their penguin person friend.
Chatter!
We thought you weren't coming.
Chatter stopped to catch her breath when she caught up to her new gnome friends.
I thought you guys were going without me.
Ha! Of course not.
You saved our lives. Why would we leave you?
Chatter sneered.
It's happened before.
The couple looked at Pangosian confused.
What?
Chatter shook her head.
Nothing. Let's go.
The gnome couple and Chatter made their way across the tundra. The gnomes shivered the whole trip. Chatter wasn't bothered, mostly because she had lived here her whole life, but she was too excited to notice the biting cold. She was excited to see the world beyond the horizon. She couldn't wait to see Ulterion again. She didn't know if she wanted to stab him for abandoning her or give him the biggest hug. But she knew she was going to find him. She was going to find new cultures and experiences. She was going to find herself.